morning, beautiful, blessed people of God. Happy Wednesday. I do believe today is Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. To God be the glory. I say good morning to each and every one of you. I hope and I pray that your hearts, your minds, your bodies, your spirits, your finances, your work environments, that everything is in alignment and that you are focused and fixed and steady to complete your purpose for not only today, this week, what God has intended you for, all of that, and then some. So I pray that you are in alignment, that you are taking steps towards alignment, that you feel aligned, all of that good stuff. So I say good morning to you all. I hope that everybody is doing well. I am knee deep in CEO mode. Yeah, I am knee deep in CEO mode. I don't know what happened, how it happened, when it happened, who told it to happen, but for some reason I got super busy at like the last minute this morning. I started doing one thing and it leaded into something else and something else. And, perimenopause let go of my brain and I actually remembered something, and then so I had to scramble around. Yeah, it was a whole lot. But nonetheless, I am grateful. I will not be on here long because, again, your girl is knee deep in CEO mode. And for some reason, somehow today turned out to be a very productive day. So I'm praying that God will align me and that all things that He desires to occur today happens today. All things in His timing, His way, His will, and I yield to that. And if you are feeling a little pressed, a little flustered, a little, I got a whole lot to do, I pray that you will yield as well. Sometimes yielding is the best thing that we can do. And, everything else is secondary. So I'm leaning into the yield today. I have already taken supplements. Yeah, that water was good too. That water felt good. I have to make sure I'm staying hydrated. It is really humid here in New York. The humidity has just kind of been, um, a little higher up there than that I would like, I should say. And we're looking at an 88-degree weather day. It's gonna get a little cooler over the weekend. I ain't mad about that. I ain't mad about that at all. And we just coast right around in the 80s. I think that'll be good for everybody. So the people that want to get to the beach, we got a couple of high days, 88, 87. Okay. You can hit the water with that. That's all good. But ain't no need to melt us. Ain't no need to, wear us out with no 90-degree weather. Like, it's August, we good. We know it can heat up in the summer, we good. So keeping us in the 80-degree weather day is good for me. Okay, so I did not go out this morning. I did not get out this morning and get my dose of vitamin D because she's gonna be knee deep in vitamin D all day long today, and with all her ripping and running. So she was like, that's got to do. But I have been productive, and I thank God for the productivity, because honestly, I can flash back easy to a moment in time that the work felt hard. Like, I just couldn't seem to get it done. And this is classic. It's classic for me because I know I'm not a TV watcher. I'm not a TV watcher. And when I find myself watching a lot of TV, then that's my signal. That's either a forewarning or it is a I'm already in it kind of mode. Good morning, Carol. Blessings to you. So I'm not a big TV watcher, and y'all know I'm on season, I think I'm up to 14. I think I'm in 14 still of SVU. Now, mind you, I didn't start from one. I didn't. I may have started from I don't know, for some reason my spirit wants to say 10. Um, but yeah, that's still a binge. And you know they got like 20 something episodes in a season. So yeah, your girl is kind of knee deep in. She's knee deep into it. But I have noticed that lately I have not been watching it as much. Like one day it was like already mid-afternoon and I hadn't watched not a single episode. And I was like, hold up, we got to get at least one episode in. But I realize it's a comfort, right? So I don't look at it negatively. I look at it as a necessary comfort. And but then I also have to be aware when I'm using it as a time killer to make me feel as though I am um in control of time, and um to help the day go by like I'm watching it. So I have to make certain that I am in control over it and it is not in control of me. And so I have been watching limited amounts, because there were some days I would get off the live with you guys. I would go and I would have breakfast in front of the TV watching SVU. Then I would put it down. I would do a little bit of work and then I would go right back to the TV, watch some more episodes midday. And it would be real, but I realized my patterns, and you got to know your patterns, right? We were talking this week about you got to know what you're contending with. But today, I want to say you got to know your patterns. Like these things don't always just jump out of nowhere. You got to look at your patterns. Your patterns are heavily attached with your habits, your discipline or lack thereof. Those are your patterns are very much connected to it. Your upbringing can have a role in your patterns as well. But we are adults now, okay? And we got to be able to look at ourselves. We got to be able to stand in the mirror, be big girls and big boys, and we got to know what's going on with us. And that's the only way we're really going to evolve. It's not enough to just exist. Some people just live and exist. That's it. There is no evolution. And if you're the exact same way you were in high school, that's a problem, right? You shouldn't. Now you can still have the same personality and everybody loves you and all of that cute stuff. That's good. That's good. But there has to be some evolution. Right now, I don't know if that's biblical. Y'all have to search your word. I ain't gonna do the word search for you, but search your word and see what God says about evolution, individual evolution, like the evolvements, like turning away from those former things, and being the new create. Look, I done found it in the word for you. There you go. Happy Wednesday. We are a new creation, right? We should not be conformed, by this world. So what are your patterns? And your patterns will tell you what the deal is, right? Look, Carol, no matter what it is, we can find it in the word, right? We can find it in the word. You ain't got to take my word for it, but you got to go in the book. And the good book says it, then that's what we're standing on. But I am grateful that I am at a space where I recognize my patterns, and I can see when I'm eating the wrong way, when I'm um you know dabbling in some of the things that I should not be doing, or like repetitively, like into watching SVU. I am on this barbecue potato chip fix. Ooh, yeah, I don't know how that happened. um good morning, Renee. I had a small bag of barbecue chips, and the small bag ended up getting me a family size bag. And so I've been going into this barbecue potato chip thing. And it's also like, because I like watermelon in the summertime, of course. And I'm one of those people. I'm team throw a little salt on your watermelon. My mama started me with that back in the days. That's a southern thing. And since I know good and well, okay, since I know good and well she don't need to be adding no sprinkling no salt on her watermelon, I know good and well I make certain that I don't put salt on my watermelon. But she been snacking on them barbecue chips, and yes, she been having watermelon and barbecue chips. I don't know what's going on with the eating habit, you guys. I'm trying to track it. We're gonna figure it out. Yes, okay, you like the Lays, I hear that. All right, good morning, Jay, blessings to you. So yeah, so I'm having a moment, okay, and I understand, I recognize it. This thing is not jumping on my back. And oh, don't even start with the tahine, don't even start with that, because me and pineapples and some tahine, oh baby, 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 baby. Yeah, yeah, because it's fruit, like you can't go wrong with the fruit. So I I'm going through a moment, and I'm recognizing I'm being a big girl. I'm recognizing my pattern. I know that what I'm eating is not a bad thing, and you're right. Once in a while ain't gonna hurt nobody. So once I am finished with my family size bag of barbecue potato chips, we are hoping and praying that it is out of her system. But she is going to the gym. So when you think about it, I think the gym kind of erases the barbecue chips. I think, yeah, I think that's what they said when I checked in. They was like, yeah, if you had barbecue potato chips, it kind of erases that. So I think I'm still good. But nonetheless, I I am mindful, right? I am mindful of my patterns. You got to recognize you. You know when you've been doing some things that is like, what? Why you do? Like when you're sleeping too much. I notice when my sleep is off. I've been sleeping beautifully, beautifully. I've been sleeping, and then something shifted. Now I'm back on the melatonin again. What's going on? And sometimes you got to track your patterns. I always say that I need to grab a notepad and start jotting down dates and what's going on, because if you do that, you will recognize what is going on with you. You'll notice your patterns. And then once you notice your patterns, then you'll be able to make the adjustments. If you're too afraid to look at yourself in the mirror, how can you fix your crown? How can you fix it? How can you fix it? So exactly. So my intention for today is to be mindful of my patterns. What am I doing? And is it a diversion for something else? So one of the things with me, when I have a lot of stuff that I know I need to do, like work related, that's when I start caring about my house being clean. Okay. Any other time, I'll be like, and nobody got time for them dishes. Nobody's got time to do this. Nope, nope, nope. She's in her zone. She's good. She's good. But there are certain times when I am like super busy and I've got projects that need to get cranked down. And I just realized that I'm working on a project that is 3 weeks away. Here I am thinking I got a whole lot of time. And then I finally looked at the calendar and I was like, sis, you got 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, snap. So now I got to shift my priorities. So sitting and binge watching SVU with the watermelon and barbecue potato chips in front of me. Yeah. All right, we gotta make this a minimum, because now we've got to produce. And so I realize what's going on with me. I know when I'm avoiding something, because that's what it is. Sometimes we just are avoiding things. Me binge watching SVU. Yes, that's rest and relaxation and reset. Yeah, 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 yeah. But there was a little bit of avoidance in that as well. There was. So don't be afraid to look at you. Exactly, Carol. Um, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to look at you and to see. Okay, good. Got it. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, my day is super, super busy. And that's my notification. So today my intention, and because you got to set intentions for the day, right? You got to set intentions, you got to know what you're doing, and part of knowing what you're doing is looking at what you're doing. And I'm getting better. Like, so I'm on the other side of this. I'm coming out of this. So I can recognize it. And hopefully you get to know yourself enough that you don't have to wait until you're on the other side in order to recognize it. But I do recognize that I was in this heavy avoidance mode. And again, it could be a spiritual thing. We got to look at, we were talking this week about what are we contending with? And we're all in the natural and, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, but maybe it's a spiritual warfare. The enemy doesn't want me to produce. The enemy doesn't want me to walk in my purpose. The enemy doesn't want me setting captives free. Are you kidding me? He don't want me healing the sick and setting the captives free. He don't. He's like, girl, sit down somewhere. SVU, go find out what happened to Stabler. Like that's what the enemy be hyping me up about. You don't really care about all of this. You want to just sit in peace. Girl, go eat you the barbecue potato chips. That's what the enemy wants me to believe. And I'm not. Now, some days I do like just be like, all right, talk your talk, sir. But then for the most part, I ain't trying to hear him. I'm not trying to hear him. So I am back in productivity mode. I thank God. I thank God for the mood shifting. I thank God for just the whole mental capacity shifting, creating space from my honored days of rest. It created space for my mental capacity. Now I have space. Now I can serve. Now I can love. Now I can lead, and I don't feel depleted. I don't feel worn out. Now that I am focusing on hydrating and taking my supplements, I'm back on my supplement games. I've jumped back into working out and everything. So I'm doing all of the right things to get me back into that mode so that I can work, so that I can produce, so that I can live this life according to the way God has called me to do. So I'm grateful to be, turning the corner, and I'm super excited. As I think I was mentioning it this week. I've got my interns, they're about to leave me. Part of me wants to breathe a sigh of relief, but the other part of me always immensely misses them. They have been producing such great quality work, but I never realized well, it's always until I'm knee deep in it and I'm like, OMG. But I've got a magnet, I've got four cylinders spinning, four cylinders spinning at the same time. And so instead of being hot girl on the weekend, I probably should be, CEO, but there's got to be a balance, right? The word says there's a time for everything. So there's a little time for dancing and shaking what your mama gave you, and then there's a little time for building and growing and serving and leading. And so I'm all about the balance, y'all, all about the balance. But nonetheless, I feel good, I feel motivated, and truth be told, I'm a bit excited because this project that I'm working on has been therapeutic for me. I told you guys June was a really rough month. It wasn't one of the roughest months, but it was a rough month because there was a spiritual attack. I could see it. but I had to persevere to the other side. I couldn't stop. I couldn't be like, well, we ain't going that route. Nope, I had to go that route. And so June, I had to literally walk through June, and I kept my head down. I thank God for my prayer warriors that were praying me through. Some had me laughing because I'm thinking I'm invisible, and they was like, "Nah, girl, we saw you. We saw you, Queen, and yeah, you was struggling through." So I feel great, but this is the cost. It's the cost. It's the cost of the crown. It's the cost of the anointing. It's the cost of the ministry. It's the cost of this life that I have. So I'm very open and honest that my world is not all sunshine and roses, but it is filled with sunshine and roses. Like, it is pretty glorious. Um, and I'm excited about this next project because this next project, um, it's healing me. I can feel my healing. I actually put that up on my Facebook post. Oh my God, what day was that? It was like, today she healed. Like, I could feel it. I could feel it. And I could feel it. And I like that feeling. I like that feeling. I like that feeling when you can feel the pieces of your heart slowly but surely healing. And that's why I'm always so pumped and excited trying to help everybody get in this, because that's a part of my call. That's a part of my call. Um, but it is a price. It is a price. All right, Carol. Look, I know what it means when you go from Facebook to YouTube. But I do have to dash, you guys. As much as I would love to continue chatting with you all today, remember to look at your patterns, right? So just take a moment today and just do a little self-analysis, check, make sure everything is good, right? Because sometimes you thinking it's not you, but it's you. So don't be afraid to check yourself. Um, and understand why you may be going through what you're going through. Consider what you're contending with. It may be a spiritual thing, right? It may be a spiritual thing, but if you're intentional about it, you'll get through it. And a lot of people don't want to share. Oh, you can't tell everybody. No, you can't tell everybody everything. But this platform that the Lord gave me, like, I do have a level of responsibility to share certain things. Like, I ain't gonna be up here telling y'all everything. I don't put everything that I do over the weekend. I don't put that up. Sometimes you'll get a little peek of it, but like, it's just for safety mechanisms. However, I do have a duty to share, right? To share, to speak this message so that people don't feel so alone on their journey of evolution, because we are all on a journey, right? We're all on our individual journey, and sometimes the paths cross a little bit, sometimes they spread apart, but we are all on a journey, and it is my prayer that we all make it through to the other side. So I'm here, but I got to dash. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we might get a long message because I ain't got nothing else to do tomorrow. Um, Other than be CEO and get myself to the gym and do all of the other stuff. Yeah, she do have stuff to do, but she'll make the time to be with you all on tomorrow. So you all go forward. Have a beautiful and blessed day. I will see you back tomorrow. Be victorious on today. Notice and identify your patterns, and then get on the other side. All right, figure out what you got to do to get on the other side, because there is joy, there is beauty, there is greatness after this. So be blessed, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.